the four species of ibex are unique from Spain. That's why that's the animal that is the main reason for a hunter to come to Spain.
We are at Safari Club International in Nashville, Tennessee. Very good show this year. It's second day of the show, and our guest today is Jose. Jose is our partner from Spain. He guides all of our hunts in Spain for the ibex, the mouflon, and so on. So with no further ado, this is Jose. What all are we hunting in Spain?
Mainly ibex.
Mainly ibex, okay?
Why? Because all the rest of the species, the majority of the species, the rest of the animals you can hunt in Spain, maybe you can hunt them in other places in the world. But the ibex, the four species of ibex are unique from Spain. That's why that's the animal that is the main reason for a hunter to come to Spain.
Okay, so with that said, I hear a lot of people asking me the different species that exist in Spain because they think, um, they don't know about all four species of ibex. Of course, the Beceite ibex and the Gredos ibex are the most common.
Yes, or the
And
biggest, more famous because they are the biggest.
right, and me being from Texas, most Texans that's all they know.
Huh.
And then in the U.S., people still believe there's only two species that we can hunt there. Now, if you're a seasoned hunter, most people know about all four species. So with all four species, they live in different areas.
Yes. In Spain, we are so lucky that we have a wide variety of species of animals that qualify for the Capra Slam.
Correct.
We have four species of ibex, two animals that live in the north, that is the Beceite ibex and the Gredos ibex, which are the biggest. Two species of ibex which live in the south, which are the Southeastern ibex, which lives in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and the Ronda ibex, which is the tiniest of all of them, that lives in a small area around the Ronda town, which is considered the most beautiful town in Spain. A fantastic excuse to visit the town meanwhile you
Oh,
are hunting.
absolutely. No doubt about that.
On top of that, we have two species of chamois, the Pyrenees chamois and the Cantabrian chamois. It's because the Cantabrian is smaller than the Pyrenees. The Pyrenees is in the border between France and Spain. And we also have the Valerian buck, which is feral goat which lives only in one island in the whole world, in the Mallorca island, which is qualifies also for the Capra Slam.
Okay, so we know there's four species of ibex in Spain now.
Yeah.
And so they live a considerable distance away from each other, so they do not interbreed.
Yes. The four areas which they are quite distant between them, between the different areas. That means that the animals have developed different characteristics. In the hunting, the Grand Slam hunting, the different species of ibex involves traveling around the whole country basically, because the distances between the hunting areas of the different species of ibex are at least three minimum. The shorter is 3 hours, the longer is like 7 hours between the different hunting areas.
Okay.
Driving driving distances.
Okay, so it's possible to fly over to Spain
Yes,
and expect to take all four ibex in one trip.
yes, that's quite frequent. Is the hunting the Grand Slam usually is a 2 weeks hunt.
So 14 days hunting time.
12, 14 days
Okay.
is what we recommend, because we usually consider around 3 days per ibex to hunt.
2 or 3 days per ibex.
Yes,
Okay.
because considering that we have to travel in between the areas is something that you can expect to hunt in 3 days per animal. In 6, 7 days you can do two. In 2 weeks you can do the four ibex and maybe a deer, red stag, or mouflon or something like that. So that is for two animals is around 1 week. For the whole Grand Slam, around 2 weeks.
Okay. So Jose lives in Spain pretty much full time. He comes to the concession in Africa a few
Yeah,
times a year with
yeah,
select clients.
yeah.
So with the Four Aces brand, As I as we said in the first video with Jeffrey, Jose lives in Spain. He conducts all of our Spanish hunts, and he actually guides all of our hunts in Spain. So if you want to go to Spain and capture all four species, I always suggest people to fly into Madrid. Is that what you?
Usually, yes.
Okay,
Usually, yes. Madrid is the easiest way to enter into the country. So we pick up the clients in Madrid airport and we start driving from there. There's also an option if you are gonna go only for the two species in the south,
which is the Ronda and the
Ronda
Southeastern.
and Southeastern, which are the smaller ones. They exist the possibility to start and finish the hunt in Seville,
Okay.
because Sevilla is also international airport. But obviously the number of flights and is more difficult. But it's possible to do from Sevilla if you do only the hunts in the south. But mainly we can do 95% of the time we do from Madrid.
Yeah. So the way I prefer to hunt these animals is fly into Madrid, maybe go north and do the Beceite or Gredos,
Hmm.
and 6 7 days with those two species, and then go back to Madrid and we jump on the train in Madrid. Is that right?
We can jump in
Or do we
in
do it north
Zaragoza.
in
We can jump in
Saragossa?
Zaragoza and go to the south. Uh, depend of the organization we are doing. It's possible to drive south with the cars, or because sometimes in the way south we stop. We stop them to shooting red stag or mouflon or doing some extra activity in our way south. Or if we are going straight only hunting, then we can take high speed train that that works very well in
Yeah, the
Spain
high-speed train in Spain works well. It's about, from the north hunting area for the Beceite and the Gredos
to
to the
arrive
Ronda and
to.
the Southeastern. It's around a 2 hour train ride on the high-speed train, but it's like traveling on the first class airline.
Yes.
It's super nice, and I would highly suggest it.
People usually don't understand that
Yeah, I was
until.
there with a client one time, and so we shot the Beceite, we shot the Gredos, and we were doing some hunting for wolf. And I told Jose, I said, okay, it's time for us to go south. What do we do? He goes, you're just going to jump on the train for a couple of hours. And my client looked at him like, because
Train.
we're in U.S., we're just not accustomed to having nice trains. So
Yeah,
my client believes that we were going to jump on this railroad car and hop on and just and go down. So we had to explain to him that no, it's really a first class experience with the food and the beverages,
yeah,
very comfortable. You get down there, and we elected to go all the way down to the coast,
yeah,
which was beautiful.
to Malaga.
Yeah, and so how are the numbers of ibex doing in Spain right now as far as our conservation efforts are concerned?
The sport hunting has been a blessing for the ibex. In the 18th century, because of the pressure of the local hunters for meat, the number of ibex arrived at dramatic figures around 3,000 animals. And luckily, the king in that moment of Spain forbid hunting ibex, and the conservation effort has been through the communities, through the local towns. In the old days, which was the main predator for ibex? Was the local, a local with a shotgun that shooted an ibex to make chorizo, to feed.
Oh, okay,
Yes, the
because they had no value, really.
no value for them. They wanted the meat to make chorizo because the meat is really tough. So the only way to eat that is mince it and making a chorizo. But what happens? The government gives for free the tax to the towns. So the locals, the local villages, sometimes you have been there, are really small places, receive those tax for from the government for free. The officers, the government decides depending of the earth that is in this town. Okay, in this town is this they are gonna receive five tax this year. So they give them the five tax and they sell those tax to the outfitters. So the money goes to the community. Small towns that can repair things in the town, they can pay things for the community, they can it's good money for really small towns that they don't have too many income.
Okay,
So that means that the locals is not interested anymore in shooting the ibex because at the end they are stealing from their neighbors. It's a way to make that the whole town is involved, that the ibex hunting and the money that they receive from the ibex hunting is good for them. So that means that the poachers are not the locals anymore. So the local are interested in having a good herd, and with that herd, they can get money.
So it works what we're doing.
It works. What we do is we try to make long-term contracts. We don't want to buy them a tag for this year. We want them the all the tags they're gonna get for the next 7 years. So we can manage the herd. We can
Sure.
say this animal is a bronze, but you see the growths of every year and it's good growths. Don't shoot them this year because we are gonna have this concession for 7 years.
Sure.
So let's allow this ram to arrive to his prime, and in 2 years it's gonna be a super gold. If you go a place and you buy a tag, you're gonna shoot the what you can find. If you are managing the earth, that allow you to keep this animal that maybe is not is good, is a medal, but it's a bronze medal, okay, and it's young. Let's try to give him 2 years more, and it will be a super gold.
With that said, it is all free range hunting,
Of course.
but the areas are very large and these animals stay on the particular ranches that are owned by the landowners. And so when Jose's talking about management, he's talking about managing an animal on a big concession and a free range environment.
Oh yes, maybe that's confusing for some people.
It is because it seems like,
Management, yes.
yeah, a lot of,
Management obviously is the females usually are resident in your area.
okay,
A group of females live forever in two sides of the mountain, so you're gonna find them all year long. And during the rut, the males are with them. Out of the rut, the males go away, and you will find the same group of females all year long. And out of the rut, they will be with two or three small ones.
how far do these males, how far can they have, how far have you seen them range? How
When
far do they travel?
they travel quite a lot,
A long ways.
They can travel 20,
Miles.
20 kilometers.
Okay.
That is like 14 miles.
Far.
Yes, far.
They may have their summer home here.
Yes, we have some areas that the rams are in the summer, usually the higher areas, and there's those are our best hunting areas out of the rut, because the males walk together in bachelor groups. So you find when it's hard to find them because they are all together. But when you find them, there are 20 or 30 together, and you see there are 10 bronze, 2 silvers, 1 gold, several that doesn't arrive to medal, but they walk together. And there are some areas where they go in the summer months or in the spring. And there are other hunting areas that they have rams all year long. The rams that from other places come to this place to stay. So we have some hunting areas that we can use them only in the rut, because out of the rut there is only females. And there are some other hunting areas that we can use in the rut and out of the rut, because the rest of the rams come to these areas.
Okay.
As you can imagine, the areas when you can hunt all year long because the other males come are much better and
Oh,
much more
sure.
difficult to find.
Absolutely.